Now, please welcome Rex Murphy, Canadian political social commentator and author.
First of all, it's really lovely to be on Parliament Hill in a Newfoundland summer. I got to start off with something truly serious. You see behind me, it's understood that on Parliament Hill, I want to be particular, one of the leaders of the party is regarded as the best dressed person on Parliament Hill. I'm about to take that title away from him. I am now the best dressed person on Parliament Hill. Put it on me. Put it on me. Huh? Not only the best dressed, but as thousands of Canadians have said over the years, he is the most unbelievably handsome human being on the face of the earth. Listen, I wish there were about 10 to 15 times the number that is here. I congratulate all of you who are here. But this is one of the most deeply moral movements of this entire century. It is. It is an amazing thing. I have been unable, normally it's not a task, I have been unable to find the words to fit the occasion when on November 7th, some extremely brave, almost crusading knights came and hit a music festival. They came with armaments and armor and flying equipment, and they took on 3-year-olds, and they took on 2-year-olds, and they took on 87-year-olds, and they shot people unarmed at a music festival. This was one of the most black atrocities of our times, and we have had so many. What does it take? What does it take for an adult, a man or a woman with a gun, to look into the eyes of an 8-month-old baby and either shoot it or haul it off to a dark tunnel for 2 months after slaughtering its parents? What is this? This is the horror of the people who hate Jews. Do not wash it, do not dilute it. Look at it in the face and understand that there are motivations so deep and there are minds so psychotic that they could walk into the very face of innocence, a smiling baby, and do it ill. I'm from a place called Irishtown, Newfoundland, and my last name is Murphy. So that's a good range away from Israel. But this afternoon, and without rhetoric, in my mind, in my heart, in my viscera, in my spirit, in my aspirations, in everything that I am a Jew. But only if you will have me, because it is not a presumption. We cannot calibrate the sorrow and for once the proper use of the word trauma. We use trauma now when people walk by the titles of books that they don't like and obviously can't read. Trauma happened on November 7th by the thousands. Can you imagine? Try. This is what empathy really... You hear the damn word from the mouths of the people who infest this building behind me. You hear it often enough. Oh, it's traumatic. What was traumatic to that mother who went searching for her 7-year-old girl and couldn't find it? What was trauma for the 7-year-old girl who saw her parents shot? The blistering atrocity of November 7th. October 7th. I'm a former journalist. I'm allowed to make mistakes. It's the nature of my profession. But the substance of what I'm saying, date or not, can you imagine what it was like? 1,200 people in 2023 on a Saturday morning in a music festival. If that had occurred in England, in France, in Australia, in any Western country, those numbers, that butchery, that savagery, that extremity of rape, that hauling away of children, the world would still be spinning with horror and rage. And yet so many have attempted to erase that day. Oh, we want a truce. You had a truce the day before. And now when you slaughter, rape, torture, and kill, you want a holiday. This is unbelievable. There's something that needs to be said. The reason that Israel exists, the Jews in this audience know it. Those of you who are supporting it and are therefore really good human beings, you know it too. Why is there an Israel? Because one of the demons from hell, Adolf Hitler, in the 1930s and 40s, put into motion the industrial death machine of Nazism and wiped out with torture, dogs, whips, scorns, and gas 6 million Jewish people because they were Jewish and for no other reason. It was the greatest act of hate in the entire history of this sad, sad planet. And can you believe that 4 years later, a half-awake world said, we will build a sanctuary state for those that are remaining that Hitler didn't get. We will give to the Jews a state where they can feel safe. And on the first day that that sanctuary state was established, they were attacked. The very first day the Jewish state was attacked in its cradle. No other people has suffered this. And through the progress of Israel from that day to this day, consider this, they have built the greatest democracy in the world. Yes? It is better than our democracy. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. They had to build it while they had to endure successive wars, any one of which could have wiped them out. And not only that, under the pressure of multiple wars, right up until this latest atrocity, they have built one of the most efficient, the most technocratic, the most educated. They have earned their democracy through their valor. Do you want to know why anti-Semitism is so deep? I can quote you lines that are 3,000 years old. By the waters of Babylon, there I sat down There I wept when I remembered thee, O Jerusalem. I can quote another. De profundis clamavi. Out of the darkness, out of the depth, out of hate, out of misery, I have called unto you. That cry, out of the darkness, the Jewish people have been making that cry. Why us? Why always? Why does it continue? Anti-Semitism is a corrosive, demonic, savage acid. And the fact that it can endure in 2023 in the modern world is a horror. Everybody here on this hill, my very last word, and that's the greatest thing I can give you. My very last word is very simple. If there are people who intimidate you when you think to speak good words of Israel, you spit back at them. If you see people harassing bookstore owners because they sell books and happen to be Jewish, you despise them. The good in this world is secured. Israel is not a canary in a mine. It's an eagle flying on the most tumultuous winds. Israel is the one guarantor of a genuine democracy. It knows the cost of that democracy. Listen, you've come from afar, you are cheated by buses. The people who should support you are not here. The leaders of the parties should be here at this particular thing. And it is my greatest pleasure to say this. Shimon Fogel said, we need to have a little bit of day class in this rally, so we're going to find the worst Newfoundlander we have, and we're going to let him have the microphone. Stand firm for Israel always.